Hi guys, I'm going to try an experiment. So, it's a food experiment, as you guessed. It's going to be a low cost, cheap rip-off of the Sweet Trees a cake bar, is it? It is a cake bar. Anyway, guys, so it's by no means going to be like theirs because they've put time and effort into theirs, but I just want to know if I can make something similar on a low budget. So, anyway, we have the double cream for the icing. We have the chocolate we're going to melt. I've just tried a small amount at first. I did buy the Galaxy, but I'm not very good with Galaxy. I thought that was nearer to the taste. But anyway, we've got this. This is dairy milk, just the normal dairy milk. And we've got Gateau. Although it looks lighter on here, lighter than their cake. It's soft like their cake. Normal chocolate cake I find is too dry and heavy. So this is what we've got. Oh, I'm just going to pause it and show you. We have icing and cocoa sort of powder. Guys, let me just show you to appreciate how thick that is. Where was that when I made the cheesecakes? We've been looking for something like that for absolutely ages. And there were other things. Honestly, that was last year, by the way. Well, actually, even a few months ago. But look at it. It's Morrison's. So if you want to know where to get some from, I mean, look at it. It's like butter. It is honestly like, in fact, it's thicker than margarine. Anyway, I'll show you in a few minutes. Here we go. We're ready to melt this in the microwave. Just a few seconds. So if it, no, actually, just thinking about how thick it is, and obviously the outside the cake bar was stupidly thick. I don't know if I should say that. It was very thick like this. It was, yeah, about the same as these cubes, but the top bit was thinner. I think that's so it's easy to melt. So I may need to leave it in for a minute. Might need to be more. I've managed to, like, there's water in there now. It's sort of added a small amount. I'd say, I haven't measured it, but probably equivalent of 2 tablespoons, maybe 2 to 3. So it's liquid, it's gorgeous, it's very creamy. I don't want to put too much cocoa powder in, but I may need to put just a little bit more in. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back. So in true cake style, it's not focusing. Let me pause it, that works. Yeah, wiping it usually works as well. So even with the cake bar, I can see it's fizzed up and bubbled. I put it on for a minute. It was on the highest though you could get. It's just like a cheap small one. We have 2 microwaves in our house, so it won't be that high, but you can see how it's melted. It's very, very similar to the cake bar. This is obviously not a cake bar, but obviously if you wanted to, my idea was to like put the Gateau on top of a bar of that, but we only have, you know, I needed 2 of these bars, and it was going to go on top of one of them and then put the other one on top of something, or half it on top to melt it, because that would be equivalent of a thin topping of the cake bar. But then I'm going to put the icing on there. I do feel like I need to add a bit more cocoa, and let's see how it tastes. It is very, very similar to the cake bar. I guess mostly the taste and consistency, if it's going to be melted anyway and all going soft, then yeah, let's taste it though properly, because I've only I can see it and I've only had like tastes of it separately. I haven't tasted it all together, so let's go. So, let's see. God, too hot. I'm going to admit, guys, tastes very, very similar, very sugary. Add a little bit more powder. A bit more than I should have done to the icing. The icing tastes nicer. It's not made very watery. It's not too cocoa-y. It's more creamy. So that's nice. It's not too sweet either. So using cream, I love using cream or anything that's similar. Cream is the best though for icing sugar, especially buttercream, I'd say. This is very, very similar. It tastes so much like the cake bar. You could use like probably £2 Gateau. And I would say just some cheap dairy milk. It tastes very similar. And then make your own icing with any type of cream or water. I added a bit of both because it's so thick, but you wouldn't need to if it wasn't. And just use the icing sugar and the cocoa. And it is very much like, honestly, I think this is what I'm going to do. I was going to buy another cake bar, but it's so expensive. And it's probably costs like next to no effort. And it probably costs, actually, it's very, very nice. I actually prefer the taste of it. So I've got to admit, guys, this is actually slightly nicer than the cake bar. God, it tastes so similar. Oh, God, yeah. Sorry, Sweet Trees. The Gateau Dairy Milk. Cheap Gateau. Dairy milk and homemade chocolate icing. And you see, I've not made it like too dark. Theirs is very, very dark, like almost a dark sweet chocolate. But this is lovely. God. It's so... I can't believe how similar, and it even looks the same colour now. Guys, seriously, I would recommend doing this if you like that cake bar. You could even make your own cake bar if you do it properly. I just wanted it for the texture and the taste and stuff like that. Okay, guys, bye.